Hi there. For this session we'll be looking at biodiversity, starting with plants. So how are plants adapted to the tropical rainforest? Plants in tropical rainforests have adaptations that help them cope with physical conditions of high rainfall and high temperature, as well as the intense competition for life. Firstly, many trees and plants have buttress roots. These are big roots that support the trunks of tall trees. Smooth, thin bark. Thick bark isn't necessary as trees aren't exposed to cold temperatures. Instead, smooth, thin bark helps water run off. Climbing plants. Climbing plants such as lianas use tree trunks to drag themselves up towards the light. Adapted to a particular layer. There are 4 distinct layers of plants in tropical rainforests, each with their own special adaptations. For example, in the highest layer, plants only have branches at their crown where they're exposed to the most sunlight. And in the lowest layer, leaves have large surface areas so they can absorb as much of the light that makes it through to them. There's also thick, waxy leaves with pointed tips. Having a waxy coating helps the leaves repel rain. Channeling the water to a point. This means that the weight of the water doesn't harm the plant, and fungi and bacteria can't grow there as there's no standing water. Finally, a gradual and consistent dropping of leaves, which allows plants to continue growing all year round, and also helps add to the really soil-rich nutrient layer on the top of the soil. Let's just do a quick recap of that. So what are the different characteristics of the leaves of rainforest plants? Are they waxy or chalky? Well, they're waxy, so the rain can roll off. Are they thick or thin? Often thin to help bear the load of the water. And they have pointed tips to help rain fall off. Let's just do another quick recap. Different plant adaptations are buttress roots, adaptations to a particular layer, smooth and thin bark, thick waxy leaves with pointed tips, climbing plants, and gradual and consistent dropping of leaves. Let's have a look at how animals are adapted. Animals in tropical rainforests, like all other animals, are adapted to find food and escape predators. So whether an animal is a predator or is more often prey will depend on, their adaptations will depend on this. They have a sharp sense of smell. Some have sharp senses of smell and hearing, such as anteaters, that have adapted to the low light levels on the rainforest floor by developing sharp smelling and hearing. It's camouflage. So, for example, leaf-tailed geckos avoid predation by looking like leaves. Also, sharp, pointy wings. Some birds, like the harpy eagle, have sharp, pointy wings which allow them to navigate through the dense vegetation. Some are nocturnal, which means that they're active at night. So many animals, like sloths, save energy by feeding at night when it's cooler. Strong limbs. Many animals, like howler monkeys, for example, avoid predation by living in the canopy. These animals have strong limbs so they can climb around all day. Flaps of skin. Some animals, for example flying squirrels, have flaps of skin which allow them to glide between trees. Let's just do a quick recap of that. Which of the following is not a common adaptation to life in tropical rainforests? There's sharp sense of smell and hearing, flaps of skin, camouflage, active during the day, and strong limbs. Well, many animals are active at night, so it's less common to be active during the day. Animals are actually active during the day. Most sloths are active at night, but many animals do feed and are active during the day. Now let's have a look at biodiversity of rainforests. The biodiversity of an ecosystem is the sum of the variety of organisms living within it. So they have very high biodiversity. Rainforests are home to half of all the planet animal and insect species that have been discovered. They are stable and productive environments. The consistent climate of rainforests means that rainforest ecosystems are stable because organisms don't have to cope with changing conditions. Rainforest ecosystems are productive because there's always lots of food. Highly adapted. Many species have become highly adapted to a specific habitat and food source. But there are some threats to biodiversity. Many rainforest species are at risk of extinction because of deforestation and uncontrolled development. For example, in Brazil, which is a deforestation hotspot because much of the Amazon rainforest is located in Brazil, there were 218 endangered species in 1989, and in 2008, 628, which is a huge increase. Rainforest ecosystems are stable because organisms don't have to cope with changing conditions. Another quick recap. What percentage of the world's animal, plant and insect species can be found in tropical rainforests? So 80%, 30%, 50% or 20%? So the correct answer is 50%. And these are for all known animal species. Another quick recap from a topic we were doing earlier. What kind of roots are big roots that support the trunks of tall trees? The answer is buttress roots. Just another quick recap. What are the characteristics of rainforest ecosystems? They have very high biodiversity. Many species are highly adapted. They are stable and productive environments. This is all the different adaptations to tropical rainforests. So we've got flying squirrels, and they are adapted to have flaps of skin that help them glide. Sloths, which are active at night, which it means they're nocturnal. Howler monkeys have strong limbs. Harpy eagles have short pointy wings. Anteaters have a sharp sense of smell and hearing, and leaf-tailed geckos are very good at camouflage. What are animals in tropical rainforests adapted to do? Well, there's two things: find food and escape predators.